Hello and welcome. What do they say in Kitakami?
Oh God. Oh, we're being
Insensitive.
imperialists. Yeah, because I was gonna say Hola, but I don't know if they say Hola here.
Kitakami. Lingo.
I was looking up Kitakami on Bulbapedia, and
It's God's home.
it's not part of Paldea, but it's unclear whether it is itself a region or part of a larger region. But I believe I read somewhere that it was adjacent to Unova, but I don't know who the hell made that up.
Why would it's adjacent to Paldea? Because we got here pretty quickly. It wasn't like Jurassic, like we didn't come in on like a helicopter.
That's true. That would have been better, though, to be honest. Although it says Kitakami may be named after areas named Kitakami in the Tohoku region of northern Japan. That seems like
it's just Japan.
Probably that. If it's called the exact same thing. What's hello in Japanese?
Konnichiwa.
Right. Yeah, that's amateur hour.
Konnichiwa, my name is Ogre-tan.
Ogre Pawn.
Ogre-pan. There's about to be a guy hunt. Have you given the song a listen?
Yeah, I did.
Kind of catchy, huh?
Fun. Pretty fun.
Catchy.
Still have no idea who Brooke Valentine is.
No, and a pretty, toxic message.
In a number of ways.
Last week we had a worm hunt. This week it's going to be a guy hunt because you better believe Esteban Humano is going to have an ogre pawn on his team before he's dead and in the ground and buried.
We're jumping ahead, so I don't want to talk too much about Ogre Pawn yet.
There's about to be a guy hunt.
I don't know if that was going to be you doing, Is It a Slug parody of, Is It a Guy? But, Ogre Pawn's definitely a guy, because they think it's a guy.
Is it a guys?
It's a lore that people thought it was a guy.
Everyone's just pretty sure that Ogre Pawn is a kid, but he's wearing a mask, or they are wearing a mask.
Yeah, they're wearing a mask,
The
so
teal mask.
Get away with anything.
The teal mask that I paid, whatever,
too much money
$25 for.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, although I guess that was an introduction. This episode and the next episode will be the Teal Mask DLC.
Oh, just getting people hyped for the guy hunt.
We'll be hunting a guy.
It's actually kind of the story of Kitakami, too.
Yeah.
It's about a boy and 3 heroic Pokemon who hunt a man out of the village.
The Loyal 3.
Let's get into it.
Let's get there.
My name is Ogre-tan, aka Tanner Greenring. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Variant?
Yeah, another Toadstool-esque.
Diverging evolutionary pathway somewhere deep in history. Primeval ooze.
I think it's a different Pokemon than Poltergeist.
One Poltergeist went one way and one Poltergeist went the other way.
Even though it follows all the same stuff, it's got a counterfeit form and an artisan form, just like Poltergeist. But okay, I guess it's matcha instead of tea, so
yeah,
fine.
Joshua Fjellstead, welcome to the show. Bugcatchers, welcome to the show. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa and Hola for those tuning in from Paldea. And Alola for those coming in from Alola.
I went to Naranja.
Yeah.
To meet up with a lady named Kiki. And a class mom.
No, her name's Briar. Miss Briar.
Who's Kiki?
Kiki's the kid.
That's just what I call her.
That's confusing because there's going to be a Kiki in this leg who is not Miss Briar.
I wrote down in my notes that her name was Kiki.
So Esteban Humano's got a little bit of a relationship with Miss Briar to the extent that he's got a nickname for her and it's Kiki.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Because I wrote down in the notes Kiki, so she must have introduced herself as Kiki.
Okay. All right. So Miss Briar / Kiki, she's a visiting teacher from Blueberry Academy.
Boo. More like Booberry. Sucks.
Yeah.
Boo. The worst.
Like Boozeberry, because I hear
God, you thought
the instruction
Uvo was bad.
The teachers are so bad because they're all booze hounds.
What does Uvo mean? Grape?
I don't know. You're the one who's supposed to be
a
native
crest.
Paldean. You tell me what it means.
There's a big picture of an orange on the Naranja Academy crest. I assumed there would be something similar. It either means egg or grape, and I'm going to assume it means grape. Or I
guess its stuff is all purple.
Let's call it grape.
So I guess we'll go for grape.
My Paldean is pretty rusty.
Okay, see, here's where I was coming from. Blueberry Academy is part of the Indigo Disc, which is the other expansion, and that's the one that's outside of Unova. Okay, so we don't know. Kitakami's just Japan.
Our Japan?
Seems like it.
It's fucked up.
Just like Kanto and Johto and Hoenn and
Kiki
etc.
invited me and a few other people out here. A bunch of kids. Let's see if we can remember all of their names here.
Don Joey was invited out because of his exceptional schoolwork and participation, aka actually going to classes. So I'm curious how Esteban.
Oh, I actually checked out the classes this week. I found my way back to Naranja Academy for the first time, honestly, since arriving. It's like Harry Potter. Like, never showed up at class. Was always just off in like the Forbidden Forest, battling crystal Pokemon. But finally, Esteban was like, fine, I can get back to school. And I finally checked it. I talked to Professor Jacques. Learned a little bit about, I don't know, Pokemon battling. It's all stuff. It's pretty common knowledge, honestly.
You get all the questions right that you got asked in class?
Yeah, man. Like, I don't even have to show up to class. And I still, I just know this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Just comes so naturally to me.
Got the street smarts. I got the book smarts.
Kiki and I popped out to Kitakami, where I met the worst person I've ever met in a Pokemon game. And that includes a guy who said, "Smell you later" to me.
You met a new dickhead? A bigger dickhead?
Yep, I met two people out here. Their names are Keenan and Kel. I am actually dating Keenan, I think, accidentally. I don't know how it happened. I didn't really think of Esteban as a sexual creature. I think if anything, he's maybe attracted to Pokemon.
Huh.
But somehow I ended up in a relationship with this boy named
Kieran.
And he has
AKA
awful
Kiki.
sister.
Carmine.
No, Kiki is Miss Briar, please.
Okay, this is going to be hard to follow.
And his awful sister, Kel.
Yeah.
Carmine. I wrote down Keenan and Kel. Carmine.
I guess this is, POV of Esteban Humano, and he's got a pretty interesting POV in the first place that, he meets a lot of people who may or may not be Pokemon. So who am I to judge?
Yeah.
What does he think these people are? He calls everything by whatever he wants.
Yeah, most people don't introduce themselves. So he's like, he has to kind of make up a name for a lot of people.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, so you're Keenan, you're Kel. So Kieran and Carmine are our homestay.
They work at Good Burger.
Home of the Good Burger.
No, they don't work at Good Burger. They're here at the Blueberry Academy. They're the locals, the townies. It's like a buddy system when we arrive. Miss Kiki's like, everyone pair up. And that's how I ended up accidentally dating this boy.
Yeah, I was going to say, Don Joey was feeling the same thing, where it was he doesn't really know what his sexuality is. He's been kind of asexual so far. I mean, he's trying to just liberate whoever he needs to and pursue a quest without selfish desires or romantic desires.
Wow. Yeah, very noble of him.
But he's open to romance. He wants romance. I mean, he knows that his
you
parents
stay open to
lost that love, but he wants it for himself, but he doesn't know where he goes. But this Kieran / Keenan, I think, is clearly coded shy, emerging gay boy. Every single
100%
text box that he gives
for some reason,
has
the game always just sets you up to be smoochy with him.
Yeah, every single text box he delivers has multiple ellipses. He's always stuttering. He's got big, long, luscious locks. He's like, no wonder you're so strong, Don Joey. You're special.
It's like, hey man, I get it.
Oh, and I'm so glad to look at these signposts with you.
Chill
I
guy.
get to be
I love
out in
hanging
nature around my hometown and talk to you, Don Joey.
That's just the vibe. It's the vibe of the roaming party that always follows Esteban around, Glad you're picking up on it.
Yeah.
But then we're flirting and going on ogre hunts together and going into little caves to kiss.
I mean, Don Joey is pretty used to that with Arvin / Billy from Stranger Things of doing drugs in a cave and admiring each other's strength.
Yeah, exactly. He like lured me into a cave. He's like, "Do you want to see where the ogre lives?" I was like, "Sure." And then we were in like a tiny cave. I was like, "Hey, while we're in here, do you want to just like kiss?" It's like, God, I guess. Yeah.
I'll try it out. I don't know. Well, okay. Let's slow down here. We get to the community center, and our introduction to Kitakami is that these two, Keenan and Kel, need to acclimate us to the land, and the way to do that is like a history walking tour, where we have to go and look at these 3 signposts that tell the story of Kitakami and these people.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of kissing and flirting.
You get paired off with Kieran, the boy. Well, first you have to do some battling. I think his sister... Oh, we should talk about the Glitterati, too.
The Glitterati?
Yeah, did you battle the Glitterati?
Who are the Glitterati? No?
There's like a whole mean girl thing here, too. Did you talk to Perrin?
How would I have missed this? Is that a name that you're making up, or is that actually the name?
Oh, maybe that's not her name. Let me look.
Yeah. Use some actual names.
Like, the photographer lady who's on the outskirts of town.
Oh, the photographer lady, yes, who will not deign to actually talk to us until we have captured all, I think, 150 Pokemon on Kitakami. Is that right?
Yeah.
She's a paparazzo.
Right behind her, there's a couple of people who I think are like, who are the Sword and Shield dudes? Do you remember their names?
Oh.
It's sort of like an incestuous brother and sister. The sister looks like Lady Gaga. They're called the Glitterati.
Oh, Swordward and Shieldbird.
Yeah, Swordward and Shieldbird. That's who the Glitterati are. And you fight the sister. Onair and Billy are their names.
Those are their actual names?
How did you not, like, encounter these people?
How did I not meet these people? I'm the one who talks to all these freaks. You're the one who ignores them. If I miss these people and you're not making them up, this is the first time in all of Experience Share a Pokemon podcast that I have missed talking to people that you talk to. I have never heard what you just said.
They're at the top of the hill. But now you're making me feel like I didn't actually fight them, but they do look familiar.
Oh, Nair and Billy, the Glitterati. Oh, they're real. But I did not meet these people, the Glitterati. But they've got an entry on here. They're real. You didn't make them up. Oh, Nair and Billy.
Anyway, they're wild. You look for them.
Rich couple.
Oh, they're a couple. They're not brother and sister?
No, but it's like how...
That helps.
Swordward and Shieldbert were like twins, but they were obviously a couple also.
I can't wait for you to meet them. They're not the focus this week. We have to go... We're firing off towards a signboard.
3 of them.
We have to go find these 3 signs with this boy. Each dedicated to the Loyal 3 and telling the story of... this boy and his Pokemon who drove this ogre out of whatever the village is called here.
Kitakami.
Kitakami is the island. Mossui Town.
Oh, Mossui Town, yeah.
They love cutscenes in this game. And they give you a bunch, and that's all we're doing here.
I swear that this wind up for the actual quest when we're just around the community center and meeting all these people was like an hour.
I know.
Just going through cutscenes.
I kept like turning off my Game Boy like mid cutscene and firing it up to like play some Pokemon and having to like sit through a cutscene for like several minutes of clicking.
Yeah.
Let's head out there. It's at Loyalty Plaza, which is not too far from Mossui. What do we learn from the first checkpoint? Do you remember?
A couple of things that I learned on the way to it was that it seems like everyone in Kitakami are xenophobes. I registered a number of comments that were like, ew, like, you're from Paldea? There was some guy I battled who said, I bet a soft little city kid like you can't even climb this mighty hill, huh?
It's just not a skill I have. Why would I know how to climb a hill? I'm from the city. I bet you don't know how to, like, use the subway, idiot.
Yeah, and I bet you don't know how to ride around on a Pokemon motorcycle, which prohibits me from even needing to know how to fucking climb a hill.
Why don't we just agree that we're both, have our strengths and weaknesses and just move on? What do you want to battle? Fine, I'll battle you. I battled everyone on this island, and I fucking eviscerated them, because I think I was supposed to be here some levels ago. At least up until the end. It got a little more challenging.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're doing it when we are now rather than waiting longer, because basically if we didn't do it now, there would be no challenge to it at all until after the Elite Four. But I'm glad that we're taking a little study abroad program at this point.
I'm going to hunt my way up this hill. There's a little hill with some beautiful apple orchards, just teeming with applins. And you just kind of dodge them because the apple's not a guy. A dragon's not a guy or an apple. Dragon's kind of interesting for your team though. Loyal knights in there.
But knights fight
tamed dragon.
But we fight dragons. I don't think we can.
This is probably a good place for you to
have a dragon.
Grind out some dragon fighting on these apple dragons. Let's talk about the elephant in the rotom.
Okay.
What do we call this? Do we have a name for the segment where we kind of track the free rotom? Welcome to Free Rotom. We haven't had to do it since
like the first episode.
It's been a while. But Rotom is further subjugated this week and embarrassed and given kind of questionable autonomy as he's upgraded against his and my will and given something called a Rotom stick.
I mean, at the same time, it's like you're speaking for Rotom, but you don't actually know if like maybe Rotom is into it.
Hey, how about giving us a fucking choice?
Well, there should be a choice. Yes.
I don't care if Rotom's into it or not. I want Rotoms to be able to choose.
Pro-choice.
Whether they are turned into selfie sticks.
We're both pro-choice, I think.
I think being a selfie stick is bad.
Rotom might like
that's
it.
That's not my... If I were a Rotom, I would think it's bad, but I'm not a Rotom, and that's not something I need to worry about. In the Rotoms I know, I hope are given the choice.
Because they become Rotom sticks. And then they also get this, like, OS upgrade.
And then I'm leaving the city, and some guy's like, hey, can I see your Rotom phone for a second? And I was like, I guess, but it's kind of like my guy, so, like, don't fuck with him. And he's like, I fucked with him. I was like, my guy, don't do that. Did you talk to the guy who gave you the like frame upgrade?
Yeah, where it will like mimic the area that you're in or something. So mine is like, or maybe it's like the case. Mine has like a brown frame now. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of Rotom crimes against Rotom this week. And I'm just here to remind you all that is a creature with autonomy that can think and act and reason, has feelings and fear. Ambitions. Stop turning it into selfie sticks.
I agree.
The selfie stick Rotom was helpful for taking the photo at the first signpost with my boyfriend Kieran,
who was too intimidated. I think that's when he says like he admires how strong we are because he was like too intimidated, or rather,
I did have my shirt off. So
Kieran doesn't even have a Rotom phone, and so he doesn't even know how to operate it, and he's like so impressed and like seemingly turned on by the fact that we can do that and take the photo. And I was like, you could take the photo next time. And he's like, well,
I could do that.
Maybe like when we're in a cave, I'll try taking a photo.
Yeah. Well, we should head up to the cave then.
Well, let's try to for the bug catchers who haven't played this game and don't intend to or repressed it because they didn't like it.
Yeah.
The signposts each depict some part of the history of Kitakami. I believe the first one is talking about the main origin story is that there was a horrible ogre who terrorized the villagers of Mossui Town and like the surrounding area. And 3 courageous Pokemon rose up to like put the ogre down. And masks are a part of this.
Oh, yes. Okay. All of them were wearing masks? Yeah. Or we just wear masks? No.
Oh, we wear the masks in order to honor the loyal 3.
I don't think the 3 were wearing masks because I think the 3 were Pokemon.
Revered Pokemon.
3 revered Pokemon because they drove out an ogre who I think was originally friends with a boy?
We don't know that yet.
And then
that's the part we don't know yet.
And then became unfriends with a boy, but I don't remember.
Yeah, there was some.
I don't know anything about these loyal 3 yet. Josh like is like blue balling me. He's like, hey, play just like the intro of the DLC.
Well, speaking of getting blue balled, is that I start to get the sense that this is a little bit of a challenger situation in terms of Kieran and me and the ogre.
Oh, interesting.
Because I don't know who's Zendaya in this situation.
Yeah,
but
ogre, I guess.
But he's very into this ogre. He keeps being like, I really relate to that ogre. Like, he was just all alone. and he was just trying to live his life. And
Yeah, he's a little emo.
like, if I were that ogre, I would want to be with somebody, and I wouldn't want to be all alone in a cave.
I'd want to crawl in this hole with somebody too.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little competition. So it sounds like it's a 3-way manhunt.
Yeah, I think it's like,
guy hunt, sorry.
3-way guy hunt, like it's Don Joey's mixed up in this.
I'm literally hunting this guy.
Kieran's mixed up in this.
Your Kieran.
Ogre's mixed up in this. Who's gonna get who? And like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's gonna be a guy hunt.
Yeah, it's gonna be a guy hunt.
Yeah.
I think I can do it now that I've heard the song.
It's pretty good. Joshua, I want to know where are we? How we got to the second signpost.
Now we're going to the second signpost.
Right, you got to climb that mountain.
Yeah, we had to climb.
After this break.
Good.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Baker's, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Baker's worth it every time. Baker's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Welcome back, bug catchers. Welcome back, Joshua. It's Experience Shared.
Konnichiwa.
Yes, konnichiwa. We are climbing up the Oni Mountain.
Oni.
Remember that? Of course you don't. I was about to remember that game, Oni, but of course you don't.
No, I've never heard of that in my life. Do you want to talk about it, or you just don't care to even explain it?
It was a Bungie game that came out before Halo for, I think, like the PlayStation 1 or 2.
I see that it was ported to the PlayStation 2. It was originally only on Windows and Mac.
Yes, Bungie famously made games for Mac, too, which is what I grew up with. Kind of an innovator in that way.
We've never talked about that. I grew up on Macs as well.
That's why we're creative.
Oh, that's why you played all the Sim games, too, because they were like the only ones that were always on there, plus Blizzard games. That's all that I grew up on.
Yeah, Blizzard and Bungie games were always on Mac, too. But like before Halo, they had this game called Marathon. They had this game called Oni. And I think like they all tie into the Halo universe in like a complex way, because like Bungie can't help themselves.
Well, I like that. Back when it was more innocent.
2001. I was 17. I was graduating from high school.
I was merely, 12,
graduating
13.
From elementary school.
Intermediate school. We had an intermediate school on Bainbridge.
Pretty quaint. Oni Mountain. I am getting up to the top of this thing, come hell or high water, and come hell or high Tanner's You Make Me Barf Pokemon of the Week.
Oh, who is it?
Bramblegast. I fucking hate these things.
The tumbleweed.
I'm just trying to scream around on my bike. I'm already trying to dodge micro Pokemon.
Right.
They're like 3 pixels on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Now I feel bad that I was complaining the other episode about Capsakid, because this landscape is strewn about with tiny-ass Pokemon. It's all the little bugs. It's Charjabug. It's the other one. It's the Petalil. It's like so many little grass and bug Pokemon.
Little tiny things. Yeah. And I'm just like trying to dodge all the Pokemon I can see, and then all of a sudden a fucking Bramblegast will just like literally levitate out of nowhere and collide with me. And it's like, get out of my fucking way. You're ugly. You're ugly and you're everywhere. It's Zubat. It's Paldea Zubat. A nuisance.
I think that's right.
A menace.
What
I don't like him.
is it?
a ghost type?
No, I know, but what is it inhabiting? I like looking this up these
tumbleweed.
days on these ghost types. God, it's got a pre-evolution. Oh, so I guess we were probably looking at Bramblin. I don't know. They look the same. That's also stupid.
Bramblin?
Yeah, Bramblin, I think, is the other one.
Oh, yeah, I was sorry. I was encountering... Wait, I don't know what I was encountering.
I don't. Either way, both of them are a barf. Both of them are annoying.
Yeah, it was definitely Bramblin. They do look too similar for me to ever tell the difference, though.
Ew, look at this description on the biology on Bulbapedia. The center front branch has 2 smaller branches near its base, which together with Brambleghast eyes form a face. The 2 smaller branches act as Brambleghast's, quote, lips, which can move to form expressions.
All right, here we go.
No.
Whoop, whoop,
no,
whoop.
no. I was going to do it later with a different one. Don't do it on
keep
this
the
one.
Tab open. Welcome back, Admin Tanner.
Oh, God.
It's for affinity check.
Don't worry, I'm already logged in. I'm not an admin, but I am logged in to prepare for this situation.
Oh, wow, they just challenge me in such ways just when I log in.
Look at this one. I mean, I guess this is like what you would do is sort of turn it into like you build a whole hulking, muscly body around the Brambleghast and make that the head. I guess that's naturally what you would do if you're going down this path.
I don't know if that's what I would do, actually. I'm just like really letting my freak flag fly. I think I would have at least a penis inside of one, but I don't think I'm getting that.
Oh, like the Dune popcorn bucket? Yeah. Well, I think these were all made before that popcorn bucket because I feel like that would have like really dictated the sort of art style.
Yeah.
I see something here that's
I'm getting like 6 results.
kind of interesting as well, which is the artist Shelver created a femboy Leafeon / Brambleghast.
Oh, interesting. I see it and I like it. I actually kind of like it.
And it's sort of a fox.
What do you think the mouth on the far left is for?
Leafeon ears and Brambleghast tail.
Okay, here's one. So this is I think a fan Pokemon, maybe? Or, I don't know. Meet Paldean trainer Perez and Zhong Yu, the Tinglu he released from the seal. I don't know what any of that means.
I don't know what that means.
I'm guessing I will one day. Anyway.
I hope so.
In the image we see Tinglu, which I think is I've only ever seen one image of it, but it's like a super buff deer.
Oh.
Anyway, it's having sex with this man and jerking him off, and they're both just coming everywhere. And in the corner, there's a Bramblin watching.
So naughty that I get a system message that says,
"Sorry, man, you don't have the deep permissions. You're not on the deep web."
Oh wow. Oh wow.
You see the little Bramblin in the corner there?
Yeah. Who's in this image? Who's this guy who's getting fucked by?
I think that's like an OC, an original character.
Oh, I see.
You can do that.
I forgot you could do that.
Yeah, that's allowed. So you're allowed to make your own guy and just have them have sex with Pokemon. That's totally cool.
A lot of cum involved. A lot.
Yeah, there would be. All right, let's get out of here.
I want to talk about something I saw on the way to the second signpost as well.
Okay.
Heracross.
Scene 1.
I like that they fly around in the overworld.
Yeah, that's cool.
Some of them walk around and some of them fly, and I like that. But I have to do a Pokéchecks yourself once again.
Okay. This is like a Pokemon I've always sort of liked and admired. Are you going to like cancel him for me?
No, I'm not going to cancel it. It's more of scrutinizing whether or not this is possible based on what we know about the Pokemon, or is this just Pokemon creators going hog wild and whoever writes the Pokédex entries? Because it says, with its Herculean powers, it can easily throw around an object that is 100 times its own weight. And its entry says that they are on average 119 pounds. So 119 times 100 is 11,900
Oh, that's
pounds,
pretty heavy.
aka like 6 tons.
It's like a truck.
Look at its little arms. That is picking up something that is 6 tons.
I don't know how bugs work, you know?
And hurling it. It's also hurling it. It's not just picking it up.
I think bugs don't have like muscles because they're just like, they have like rock skin, exoskeletons. So I don't know how they work. Is it like hydraulics? How do bugs work?
Could it have hydraulics in there? Do we have to get the slug scientist back on here?
Honestly, look at us. Like, have you ever considered that before? Do you know how a bug moves around? They don't have muscles. They have exoskeletons, right?
Yeah. But what's going on inside of them? Because the skeleton's on the exo.
Fucking
right?
me up,
Does that
man.
mean outside?
This is fucking me up.
Anyway, think about that, bug
But then
catchers.
I would believe it. If it's like hydraulic pistons, yeah, that could move a 6-ton truck.
Well, speaking of those, when we get to my level check, I'm going to have something else to talk about in terms of hydraulics and a bug. But that's just a little teaser.
I'm still on my journey up the mountain, Joshua.
Yes.
It's sort of a metaphor. It's cleansing.
It's called the Reveler's Road.
It's like one of the Joseph Campbell hero cycle steps. We're climbing the mountain. And on my way, so it's not all bad news and glum times on the way up this hill, I saw something quite beautiful, and it was Tanny Sweetie.
Oh, go on.
It was called Glimora.
God, I didn't see that.
You gotta check this thing out.
I didn't see the Glitterati. I didn't see the Glimora. What's going on?
Maybe your game just sucks. They just like thought mine could use a little like
I got the hacked one this time.
zhuzhing up.
Glimora.
This thing like blew my mind.
Ooh.
It was floating in the sky.
It looks like a Protoss carrier.
I couldn't make heads or tails of it, and then it like blooms into a beautiful flower as I'm fighting it. It's just a lovely Pokemon.
Whoa, I didn't see that at all. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Whoa, it seems good. That's not a guy, though.
No, that's not a guy. I didn't catch
Not
it.
at all.
I killed it.
I don't think I could even have that in my Merry Men.
I'm not sure how it would work, what it would be.
Rock Poison. I like this a lot. I look forward to seeing one.
Yeah, I hope you can kind of get eyes on a lot of this fun stuff that I'm seeing in Kitakami. Guess you're too busy flirting with your boyfriend.
You gotta lock it down. I was putting in the work.
Get to the top of the mountain. This is where we go into the boy cave with Keenan and check things out. And he's like, okay, great. We're done.
Yeah, he's like, I need a big, strong man to be able to take this photo in front of the
I
signpost.
don't remember my Rotom will do it. Some guy just warped his body into the shape of a selfie stick.
And I'm also too scared to go into the dreaded den, and that's where the ogre lives. And I love the ogre.
Yeah, if you love the ogre so much, why don't you go into the fucking den and marry him? God, who are you dating, me or this ogre?
That's what I want to know. That's why it's a challenger
Quit
situation.
bringing up the fucking ogre.
We battle him too, I think, here.
Yeah, he thinks the ogre will be shook out of its cave. Crushed him.
Yep.
And then I go and meet the parents before our festival date, the mask festival.
And the parents are like, oh, Kieran's finally got a friend. Like, oh, consider you part of the family. And I'm like, I know. This is moving real quick, though.
Yeah, faster than I like, but
I don't even live here.
I don't, and like I haven't won his sister over at all. She continues to
No.
be really mean to me. She won't give me a mask.
Carmine / Kel continues to be a real asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, they invite us to go to the Mask Festival, which is like the big thing on this island / region. And they go to the shed where they keep these supposedly 3 masks, and you go over there, and then conveniently, the third mask they claim they had is gone. And they only have 2, and they're like, my boyfriend tries to give me one, and then Carmine's like, no, it's finders keepers and first come, first serve. And we already have the
This
2.
lady, she fucking sucks. And then she battles me, and I absolutely wipe the floor with her.
Yes. Okay. Well, then I had to comment about something. I had something else to say, which quickly I will say, we get dolled up and we get put in these like
Oh yeah, there was a name for it.
kimonos
Yeah, it wasn't kimono, but there was a name for it.
They call it something else.
But we get it now. Like, and they
Traditional
also gave me
garb.
like a little card that I can unlock cool new Kitakami looks back at Paldea.
Yeah, the Teal card. So
Yeah.
I look forward to buying some of their stuff, except I love my outfit. It's like
Oh yeah, it looks sick. Yeah.
forest green, got a bunch of masks on it. They doll my hair up beautifully. And then my boyfriend sees me and he goes, whoa, ...
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what are you doing after the festival, you know?
Let's head up to the boy cave.
Before that, don't say it like that. Before that, we fight with Carmine, and she has Joshy's sweetie, which also is what you named me, Poltergeist, aka Poltergosh.
Poltergosh. Poltergeist. Yes, it's the new one.
I like it.
Yeah, you know what? I like the whole line.
Not a big fan of matcha tea.
I'm not either. Too bitter, but I don't think I'm like make it right or have had it made right for me.
I don't think I have either. I also don't care to try again.
It's just so many other things to experience in life, you know?
Yeah, it's like, it's not doing it for me. I'm not going to yuck any yums.
I like the Kit Kats.
The Kit Kat is dynamite.
What else? Who else did she have? Anyone interesting? I don't remember. I just honestly smoked her.
We're ready for the Mask Festival now.
Let's head in. We have to chase Kieran across the entire festival. He wants to show you all the sights and sounds,
which are all the same. It's just a bunch of candy and sweets purveyors.
Yeah, and they're serving all the same shit.
Can't you sell me some other shit?
The guy who's selling masks is the one thing I want. Is the guy selling masks is not at his booth.
Yeah, they said that we could buy a mask at the festival, and then nobody is there.
So I go and do this thing called the Ogre
Oustin.
Ogre Oustin. Let's get into Ogre Oustin, because this sounds like I am a fucking natural.
I was hoping this was going to be more of a thing and I could keep doing it. And you only get one shot at it.
Wait, we only ever get to do this once? It was was it fun? It was kind of fun.
It wasn't that fun.
It wasn't that fun, but it was kind of fun.
So Ogre Oustin's the one activity you can do at the Mask Festival, and Carmine challenges you, and she's like, I'm the queen at this. I got a high score of 6,390. See if you can beat it, you little...
She didn't say that. She wouldn't use a gendered insult like that. Actually, she probably would. She's awful.
She definitely would.
Yeah, I fired up my Koraidon. Oh, I guess did we cheat? I'm just now realizing. She didn't have a Koraidon.
There was a woman outside of it who offered up a Stantler, except you're not allowed to take the Stantler because I thought I could, and she was not interactable beyond saying oh, I've got a Stantler if you want to play Ogre Oustin. So I think it's implied that Carmine is taking the Stantler.
Know. Is a Stantler as fast as a fucking motorcycle?
As it turned out for me, it was faster because my high score was only 5,735.
Absolutely.
So I got defeated by Carmine.
I did not take a screenshot of my score. It was in the 6,800s, I think.
Oh, and you don't have interesting that you don't have a screenshot of it. So you could just say, oh, it was in the range of 6,800.
It was high. You know why I'm saying it was 6,800? Because I'm hesitant to say it was in the 6,900s. Because I think my mind just wants to click to 6,900.
Because it's nice.
Yeah. So I'm hedging my bets and saying 68. I actually have no idea, but I definitely beat her and she hated it.
So she had a reaction that wasn't gloating?
Yeah, she was furious that I beat her score.
Huh.
And then I think Kieran sort of defended me, and then she sort of browbeat him into submission once again.
He's the sub for pretty much everybody on this continent.
Not me. I mean, not yet.
The premise of this, quickly, for those who have not played the game, Ogre Oustin is just you ride around and you have to pop balloons that are a corresponding color and they have berries in them.
Bring the berries back.
Green, red, blue, gray. And then you have to put them on
little pedestals,
stands, and it threatens in the instructions that Squovettes and munchlaxes are going to show up and like try to eat them, and that never happened to me.
Never happened to me.
Too quick.
GG Easy. That's the festival.
Oh, that's not the festival. No, after that.
And then we see the boy, and then we're we're still on a mask hunt. I'm on a guy hunt. We see the boy on the outskirts of town. I'm like, oh, kill two birds with one stone. I can grab his mask and get the boy, the guy.
The ogre, as far as we know, shows up.
But he's wearing a mask.
It looks kind of like a delight.
Yeah.
It's wearing a teal mask, which is what our boyfriend is wearing as well.
Kel follows us out and kind of scares the boy off, and we eventually chase it away, and it drops its mask. We collect it. It's our teal mask now, and the boy is in the wind. That's why we're on a guy hunt.
Yeah, he flees up to the boy cave, but we're not allowed to chase him up there.
And then there's just the third signpost to get to, which is, like the others, a pretty just brief trip through like a wild zone where you have to dodge bramblins and like avoid getting fucked by Shang Li.
Yeah, there's...
What was that thing called?
I don't know what you're even saying. You have all these little names for everything, and it's like, I don't know what's going on.
Ting Lu. The odd...
What?
Ting Lu.
Ting Lu?
Ting Lu was the deer having sex with that guy's bottom.
Oh, in the fur
with
affinity?
The bramblin watching.
You saw this?
No.
Okay, Ting Lu.
I don't think they would show that in a Pokemon game.
No, but I mean, I didn't even see a Ting Lu at all.
I have absolutely no idea what Ting Lu is. I assume we will eventually find out what Ting Lu is. Ting Lu is like a bystander in this, because it was really Bramblin that we were looking at in that image, who's tucked away in the corner.
Right.
I can't wait to meet Ting Lu. He seems like a really interesting guy.
Yeah, pretty fluid, interesting guy.
I have absolutely no idea what we'll talk about, but I can't wait to meet him.
We also prior to the third signpost, just to Joshy take the wheel for a second, we also are encouraged by Carmine to go talk to her grandfather. And she also like tells us to shut up because our boyfriend doesn't see that we met the ogre who he is also in love with. And instead she's like, shut up. Don't tell him about this. Go talk to my grandfather. He knows about what's going on with this mask. And the next morning we talk to the grandfather and he reveals the real history of the ogre that's been passed down his family by Wom, he says, word of mouth.
Wom warriors.
Which is that they used to be mask makers, and actually the ogre was a good guy, and he came over here with like his friend, and again, because everyone in Kitakami is a xenophobe, they didn't like the look of these two, and then they, tried to like throw rocks and stones and like tomatoes and whatever at him. And they were driven up into the mountains, and then the Carmine Kieran family made masks to cover up their faces, and apparently, like a Scooby-Doo, that's enough to be able to like cover up yourself enough to be able to just do whatever you want.
You wear a mask on Purge Night too.
And eventually, I don't know, a mask fell off or got destroyed or something, and then it's Purge.
Yeah.
It's Purge. That's it.
I don't think you have to wear a mask on Purge Night. I think most people just do to like kind of have a little anonymity. You don't want to get caught going out and doing purging.
Well, yeah, it's like Eyes Wide Shut. I mean, if we're just going to keep referencing things, yeah. Anyway, he doesn't want to crush the villagers' sense of like belonging or whatever, that they all hate this ogre. And he's like, we can't tell him that the ogre was good.
Wait till it's on my fucking team. Then I bring it into town and I'm like, here he is. His name is going to be like Seth Meyers, And they're going to be like, oh, it was just a guy named Seth Meyers. It's like, yeah. Try looking past your biases for once.
Well, they can't do that.
Joshua, up to that third signpost. It's pretty easy to get to. It's out in the Paradise Barrens. There's not a lot to talk about on the way, which gives us time to do our last thing of the evening, which is battle our boyfriend, Kieran. And before we do that, let's talk about the guys and ladies we met along the way in Level Check.
Level Check.
Esteban
You got some new guys and dolls?
Just one. Margot Pence, Tinka Tough, level 34.
Wow. Outleveled mine.
Lady Beth, Charcadet, level 35. Gregor Samsa, Relor, level 40.
Is that it for Relor? Was that already evolved?
It has not evolved yet. There might be a trick to evolving it. I haven't looked yet. He turns beautiful, I think.
Sure it does.
Donna Baker, Florigato, level 35. Donna's Car, Varoom, level 35. And then I'll quickly say, on ice, Shy Avery. I loved having Shy Avery around, and I'm committed to Shy Avery as a person, as an individual. And I can't wait to have Shy Avery back in my life after they get the help they need. Mostly, I think, income.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot I can do with it right now with Astonish and Tackle.
I'll say this. I don't think I added a single Gimme Ghoul coin on this leg, actually.
I found quite a few.
I don't think they live over here. Do they live over here?
I've been on a little bit of a ghoul hunt, too. Guy hunt and a ghoul hunt.
Okay. I learned that our friend Pokemon Crossroads on X, the site formerly known as Twitter, already last week already has Golden Go.
I've started on that journey, but I'm not there yet.
Like, already found 999 coins at the same pace as us, so we're very bad at this.
But anyway, Shy Avery's on ice until we can get Gibby Ghoul in the scene. And I met someone here, actually.
Oh.
Her name is Ginny Big Mac.
Okay.
I think it's like a SoundCloud rapper name or something. It's like a persona, it's like Aquafina. I don't know her real name.
Yeah.
She just insists on everyone calling her Ginny Big Mac. Hatena.
Did she say anything about what does that name mean to her?
I asked, she said it rhymes with a lot of stuff. That's why I think it's a rap name. She hasn't sent me a link or anything, so I haven't heard it.
And then she probably loves Big Macs. Okay.
Hatena. Yeah, Hatena.
Hatena.
Level 25. She's the baby.
That's definitely a person. I agree.
Yep. And will become more of a person.
I'll allow it.
Obviously. Don Joey.
Don Joey's Knights. No big changes. Well, a couple of interesting ones. But before that, Rouncy Crocolore is level 35. The Duke Palmot still leading the pack at level 37. The Duchess Azumarill is level 32. Trish of Levencia Tinkatuff, level 29. Bested by your Tinkatuff. I mean, yours is a lady, though. A human woman, so.
Yeah, we don't really just track levels like that.
Yeah. And then we have, formerly known as the Porter, who was Nimble, is now a low kicks, and
isn't he good?
As a result of this, the Porter proved himself big time in a bunch of battles this week, and we were like, look, man, you've done a lot more than just being a Porter, and now that you're this low kicks and you got this really cool look and you got that exoskeleton that in battles,
he looks so
he
cool.
hops
God,
back
so cool.
on his extra legs.
I love these ninja bugs.
And then he does pounces and double kicks. And he is now the Black Knight, and he's level 27.
The way he hops around and kind of runs around, he's just so little and sporty. He's like a little bean.
Yeah, so we promoted him big time. We bring him in when we need to get really serious.
He's good. I like it.
And then another interesting change was Cookie evolved into an Arboliva, level 36.
Anything interesting about that you want to say?
This is something I didn't really want to do, and you already did it, which either makes me more enticed to do it or
Firing
reticent.
It up. Boing, boing, boing. Welcome back, Admin Tanner.
Arboliva is sort of a confusingly sexy Pokemon.
I'm already on the Affinity
say.
page, and I would say that there's absolutely nothing confusing about it at all.
Yeah, I already had it pulled up. So actually, one of these artists depicted Arboliva in a way that makes me see what the inspiration for Brassius's art was. Do you see this one? I think Brassius was taken by Arboliva, and he depicted most of his... He built his name around depicting her.
What am I looking at here?
Doesn't that look exactly like Brassius's art?
Oh, yeah.
So he was taken by this lady. So is Don Joey. I would also say several other artists want to be tied up by its roots in a sexual manner.
And a lot of people seem to be pretty like confused about the olives and are pretty sure those are actually like honkers in a lot of cases.
Yeah. There's a lot of bazongas involved.
It's again OC. And that's interesting to me.
Oh, that's the one I was talking about, where it's a guy getting tied up by the roots and vines, and he's into it.
Yeah. And a rockruff is licking his feet, and it's tickling him, and he's turning red. I think he's pretty horny too.
He's into all of it, I think, as far as I can tell.
But I think this world of like original characters kind of interacting with Pokemon in this way is pretty compelling to me. Something worth exploring.
Yeah, Murdoch is this OC.
Daddy Feet, one of the tags.
Original character.
Right.
That's good. That's good for that.
Kieran was the guy we're battling this week, and he's my gentleman friend, as my grandfather used to say of my uncle's boyfriend, his roommate.
Uh-huh.
Kieran is my roommate. Actually, we do talk about bunking up at one point. He said, I'm going to move into this cave, this boy cave. And I said, oh, when can I move in? And he was like, ha ha ha, really?
Yeah, is it just a boy cave or is it a boy's cave?
Let's turn this boy cave into a boy home. Kieran and I did a bunch of battles. He's
got a Yanma and a Fur and a Dipplin and a Poliwrath.
Is it a guy of the week? Poliwrath. Got guy energy.
I think so. I mean, I know it's like also your favorite Pokemon, or Poliwhirl is specifically, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll take a Poliwrath, though. I'm not going to turn away the stats boost.
I think that's a guy. Yeah. Stands on two legs.
He's not punching with like hydraulic bug muscles, you know? That's a guy with muscles and gloves and a pissed off look on his face. Anger. That's a human emotion.
Got kind of
angst.
Normal arms and hands. Stomach is exposed and we can see through it, which is sort of fucked up, but like,
yeah, that's his poop.
Yeah, I think it's more a guy than not.
Let's get out of here, Joshua. I assume you didn't have any problems with Kieran?
No.
I think next week we're gonna go finally take on these legendary 3 and then hopefully meet up with Ogerpon.
The loyal 3, and hopefully we meet the guy that Esteban Humano is hunting.
That's gonna be a guy hunt. Joshua, bug catchers. See you next week for the remainder of the Teal Mask DLC, and then reminder we're going back to Paldea.
Palslea.
To just kind of clear out the Steel Titans and Star bases first when we get back. But then we'll get back to the story.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mini waterfalls right in the middle of the season. It's actually not even the middle. It's kind of the beginning. Anyway.
Just breaking it up. We needed a break.
This has been Experience Share. It's a Pokemon Podcast. My name has been Ogratan, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Polchagosh. This has been Experience Share. Please do rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts, and do follow the show everywhere that you follow podcasts, and do follow us at EXPSharePod on X and Instagram and Threads.
And then also check out our subreddit, reddit.com/r/bugcatchers, and buy some merch at, as you might expect, expsharepod.com.
Konbanwa.
What?
I think that means goodbye.
Is that the opposite of konnichiwa?
Konbanwa and Alola and
Alola.
Tip. Bottom of the episode. Goodbye.
Bottom of the episode to you. And smell you later.